So this session is all about your legs and your bottom. So we're looking to build strength, we're looking to build stability, and as a lot of people keep asking for, hopefully a little bit of shape there as well. So you just need a strap for this session, and we're going to start standing. And we're going to start with some squats. So let's start with our feet slightly wider than hip distance apart. And I want you to imagine that you're going to sit down in a chair. So you're going to stick your bottom out behind you like you're going to sit down and just do a little squat and then come back up. Now turn to the side. So stick your bottom out like you're going to sit down on a chair and come back up. So we don't want to be kind of tucking our bum under and squatting like this. We really want to think about shifting your bottom back and sticking it out. In an ideal world, your shins would be fairly vertical. So can you get your shins to kind of stay still as you squat and stick your bottom out and come back? Push your weight through your heels as you come back up, and you'll really feel that work in your glutes and hamstrings. And some people like to bring their arms forward just for a little bit of counterbalance. It doesn't matter how low you go as low as you feel comfortable, but don't force it. The work really in the squat is in the coming down and the coming back up. Doesn't really matter how low you go, just whatever feels right for your hips and for your knees. Let's do 2 more here. Push, and then coming up. All right, we're going to take our legs wide now, and let's turn those feet out a little bit. And we're going to do some wide leg squats here. So again, it can take a little bit of time finding the right position. You don't want to have your feet too close to you so that you end up in that frog leg position. Just doesn't feel very nice for those knees. So nice and wide as you squat down. Push into the heels to come back up. Make sure that your knees are turning out and not rolling in. We're going to do 2 more like this. And then I'm going to squat down and we're going to hold it. So stay down. I'm going to pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, lower, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. It's just a little shake out here. And then we're going to go back to that wide leg squat position again. Toes turned out. And we're going to squat down and up just a couple of times again here. And then squat down and hold it. Can you come up onto the toes of one foot, lifting that heel, and then place it down? The other side, lift the heel and lower. Lift and lower. Keep switching sides. Can you do both together? Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Last one here. Press into those heels, come all the way up to standing. We're going to go into a lunge next. So we're going to step 1 leg back. 1 leg forwards, and then we're going to bend the front knee and bend the back knee. So we're going to drop that back knee down towards the floor. Again, you're in control. It doesn't have to go super low. You can do little tiny lunges here. You can go against a wall so that you've got something to hold on to. That's fine too. Making sure that, again, this front knee isn't going all the way too far forward, just because it puts a little bit of strain on that knee. Again, we want to try and keep that front shin fairly vertical, yeah, as you lower and lift. Let's do 3 more. And then we're just going to switch sides. So stepping forwards and stepping back. Again, find your position that works for you. Near a wall if you need to, and get your setup right. And when you're ready, drop down. Again, check that leg. Does it need to come in? Does it need to go out a little bit further? As you lower and lift. Keep going. Last 2. Last one. Come on up, give those legs a little shake out. Ooh, are you ready for a lie down? Come on down onto your mat. So we're going to come down onto our front and we're going to do a little bit of hip extension. Now, hip extension is really important because it really helps to build strength and stamina in our glutes, which is our bottom, which is really needed for walking and for powering ourselves forwards. And if we don't have strong glutes for powering ourselves forward, then we're going to use our back. So if you get a lot of lower backache when you're walking, you really need to work on this. So come down. You can have your hands on the floor and then resting your forehead on your hands. I'm going to keep my head up just so that you can hear me okay. And then we want to have our legs either together or hip distance apart. pubic bone anchored into the floor, and slightly tuck your tailbone to give length in your lower back. All we need to do is reach one leg long, let that leg lift away from the floor and then lower down. And do the same on the other side. Reach the leg long and let it lift and lower. Keep going. So we're trying to keep our back quiet and relaxed here. Notice if your back is trying to do the work instead of your bottom. And if it is, get that pubic bone anchored. Find that length. And what you could also do is place a rolled up towel under the front of your hips, letting your pubic bone drop down towards the floor, which will take the pressure off your lower back and hopefully allow you to get into those glutes and work those glutes a little bit more. Keep reaching the leg long, let it lift and lower. Good, one more on each side. And then relaxing the legs down. We're going to push ourselves up and back and we're going to find an all fours position. So come onto your hands and your knees. We're going to come down onto our elbows. So elbows and knees. And we're going to let's bring our right knee in towards the centre. So instead of them being hip distance apart, bring that right knee into centre and then lengthen your left leg out long on the floor. And then try and keep your back as relaxed as you can. So notice if it's starting to round and lift. Can you let your back just relax? And then we're going to lift that long leg and lower it down. Lift and lower. And we're going to try and keep our back as relaxed as possible. So what we don't want is that kind of seesawing of your back, yeah? So try and keep everything nice and still. 2 more of these lifts. And then this time we're going to bend the knee and have a flat foot. And can you push the sole of your foot towards the sky? Push. Keep going. Push. We're going to do 5 more. Are you ready? Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to lengthen that leg out long and slide that leg back in. We're going to bring that left leg now into centre. And straighten out your right leg long on the floor again. Find that nice relaxed spine position here and we're going to lift and lower that long leg. We're going to do 3 more. As you lower that leg this time, bend the knee, flat foot, push the sole of the foot to the sky. Push. Five more, keep going, push. Last one here. And then lengthen that leg out long and slide that leg back in. Take your bottom back towards your heels and reaching your arms forward into child's pose to have a stretch and relax here. We're going to come onto our side for the clown next. So when you're ready, come on down. You can have your head resting in your hand or your arm out long if you prefer. And then knees are bent. Okay. Make sure that your pelvis is stacked, so we've got hip bone on top of hip bone and we've not got that top hip rolled back. And then from here we're going to open out the top knee and close it down. Keep going. Three more here. Nice and controlled. 3, 2, and 1. Keeping that bottom leg bent, we're going to straighten that top leg out and push out through that heel as you lift and lower here. Keep reaching that leg long. Two more. We're going to do circles now. Keep reaching that leg long as you circle around. Can you reverse that circle? Go the other way. and then holding that leg out long. We're going to take that leg back. So it's a little bit further back than we were, and we're going to lift and lower here. So now, maybe you can feel a little bit more work into your glutes. Keeping that leg back, let's circle again here. And then reverse, go the other way. I think I've made my circle smaller now because it's harder. I think I'm cheating, going a little bit smaller. Good job. Bring that leg in and lower it down. Woo, you can definitely feel that work in that outer hip and those glutes on that side. Let's do the same on the other side. Finding your clam position first. Knees bent. Feet roughly in line with your spine, and again just take a moment there to make sure that that pelvis is level. Feet stay together as you open out that top knee. Don't let that top hip roll back. We're going to do 5 more. Good job, keeping that bottom leg bent. We're going to straighten out the top leg, reach that leg long, and we're going to lift and lower here. Are you ready for circles? Keep reaching as you circle. Can you reverse that circle, go the other way, keep reaching. Lengthen that leg out long, take that leg back, lift and lower here. Again, finding those glutes. Two more. And circle, keep reaching. Can you reverse that circle, go the other way? Last one. And bring that leg all the way in. Woo, give it a little rub, give it a little pat, roll over onto your back. Okay, so we're going to lie down on our back with our knees bent and our feet flat. Have your feet and knees about hip width apart, and then anchoring your arms down by your sides. We're going to go into a hip lift. So we're going to push into our heels and lift our hips straight up towards the sky. And then we're just going to fold at the hip and lower our bottom all the way back down. Do that again. Push into your heels, lift your hips, and then lower all the way down. Keep going. Push and lower. Find that work again in your glutes, in your hamstrings as you push and lower. Keep your weight into your heels, so maybe lift your toes off the floor to show that you're not shifting all of your weight forwards. Two more. And as you lower down this time, just bring your knees into your chest for a moment, just to give your glutes a little stretch, just to have a little reset. We're going to do a little bit more, and we're going to add some pulses this time. So when you're ready, go back to feet and knees hip distance. Push into your heels, lift your hips all the way up, and we're going to stay tall, and we're going to do 10 pulses here, just lifting and lowering, maybe an inch. Push. 3 more. Drop halfway, pulse, push into your heels, lift. You're going to do 5 more, 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Hover just off the mat and pulse, push into the heels, lift the hips. Find that work in your glutes. 2 more. Last one, and lower your bottom all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest, give your knees a hug, and just rock gently side to side here. Okay, I want you to grab something to pop between your knees now, so a block, a cushion, a squishy ball, anything that you've got handy and that you can squeeze. And then we're going to have our feet down on the floor, knees bent, and something between your knees. Anchor your arms again down by your sides, rolling your chest and shoulders open. We want a neutral pelvis here, so don't have your pelvis tipped towards you so your back is flat,
and your pubic bone's higher than your hip bones. Find that nice level flat pelvis. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze that block. As you inhale, release. As you exhale, squeeze. As you inhale, release. Really working those inner thighs now. Try not to tilt your pelvis, so try not to, as you squeeze, kind of squeeze your bottom and tuck everything. We want everything else to stay fairly relaxed. It's just the inner thighs that are working, and of course those abdominals. Keep going, squeeze and release. Squeeze as you exhale, release as you inhale. We're going to do some pulses again here when you're ready. Squeeze and hold. Keep breathing, but let's squeeze. And we're going to hold for 10. And then we're going to pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse quickly. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze and hold. Again, we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse again for 10. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Bring your knees into your chest. Get rid of your block, whatever you're using. And have a little moment there, a little reset. Okay, our last exercise is the patella centering exercise, which really works the quads, the muscles on the front of your side. So we're going to keep one leg bent, and we're going to straighten the other leg out long. And we're going to bring both of those legs in towards the midline, so you can just feel them touching. Again, finding that neutral pelvis, take a breath in. As you exhale, that long straight leg, we're going to float it up, just until the knees are at the same height. And then as you inhale, we're going to lower that leg all the way back down. Do that again. So as you exhale, we're going to lift the leg. As you inhale, we're going to lower. And we're going to keep that pelvis from rocking and rolling, so pelvis stays still. It's just the leg that's moving. Can you imagine that that leg is like the heaviest leg in all the world? Imagine that you're in a big vat of treacle, so it's really heavy to lift that leg, it's really heavy to lower. Two more. And then we're just going to switch sides. So as you lower that leg down this time, switching sides, same thing, one leg out long, the other leg bent, and they're hugging in towards the midline. Take a breath, and as you exhale, we're going to lift that leg, inhale to lower. Keep going. I just like to have a soft foot here. You could absolutely have that foot flat or pointed. Any of those is fine. I just kind of like a soft foot so that I can really focus on my quads, on my thigh, not really on my foot, but any of those positions, whatever feels good to you. Lifting on that exhale, lowering on your inhale. Last one. As you lower that leg down this time, we're going to switch sides again. This time turning that leg out from the hip so that we're going to be working more towards the inner thigh. Take a breath, and as you exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Again, as you exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Now when we're doing this movement, I always like to bring my awareness to how much I'm pressing into that supporting leg. And am I pressing all of my weight into that leg so that my abdominals don't have to work so much? Check. Can you unweight that foot a little bit? So just rest the foot lightly on the floor and feel how much more work your abdominals have to do. And you do two more. Last one here. And as you lower that leg, switch sides again. Turning out from the hip, neutral pelvis. Take a breath in and exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Two more. Last one. As you lower that leg in this time, bring the knees into the chest, give the knees a little hug and have a reset. You deserve a little stretch after all of that. Grab your strap and lie yourself back down. One foot into the strap, have the strap at the base of your toes, at the ball of your foot, and lengthen that other leg out long. So we've got both legs as straight as we can. Pushing out through both heels, pulling the front of the foot towards you. And hold here for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, bring that leg across your body. So I'm going to move through these strap stretches quite quickly because this is obviously quite a short workout, but if you want to spend longer here, then absolutely do. Bringing that leg back in through centre, slightly turn it out and take it out to the side. Again, just hold for a couple of breaths or longer if you've got the time. And then bring that leg back in through centre. Exactly the same on the other side, so switching legs. One leg out long, the other leg in the strap, pushing out through your heels, pulling the front of the foot towards you. Again, just hold, finding a little bit of softness, check your jaw, neck and shoulders. If it feels okay, bring that leg across, move in that release to your outer hip. Bring it back in, slightly turn it out and take it out to the side. When you're ready, bring that leg back in, release that strap, and just bring the soles of your feet together, take your arms out to a T, and just relax. You're all done. Feel free to stay there for as long as you want to recover. I'm going to switch the video off now. Thank you.